Good evening everybody, and a very warm welcome to Ringwood South. And today is mainly about a layout update. So I'm just sorting myself out briefly and then we'll crack on with the stream. So we'll see who's around, just give everybody a couple of minutes just to join in. And then we can see who's on and who isn't on and all the rest of it. Right, just throw that over there for the minute. So we'll see now what's happening. Hello John, welcome to the stream, and you have the honour of being the first person on this evening, this Sunday evening. And DJ Model Railway, good evening. Welcome to the stream. You're only going to see my face briefly because then we're going to have to get down with the camera to show you what I've been up to and show you some of the progress that I've been doing. Hello Scott, welcome to the stream, Scott Malcolm. And let me just make sure that we are running okay. Right, so what's been done? Hello Stocksfield Parkway, welcome to the stream. And Kev Bygrave also, thank you and welcome to the stream also. So I'll be doing a lot of that throughout the stream, that as people are joining I'll be saying hello. So we might go off track slightly. Right, I was contemplating whether I'm going to slow down with these live streams or whether I'm going to stop completely. Hello David Jones, welcome to the stream. Purely because the quality of the video doesn't really come out that well when it's on playback, and the only way it works well is if the camera is still as it is now on a tripod or mounted on a clamp or something like that. So I'm going to try and move the camera as very little as possible so we can try and keep the picture quality up. I did look in the settings for YouTube to try and sort it, and it seems to be a bit of a compromise. So that's why I'm going to try not to move the camera too much. But obviously I've got a few bits to get through today, and we'll just take it from there really, like we always do. So I'm going to take you off the tripod, and then we're going to have a little look-see as to what we're going to be doing today. Hello Jeff at Jumble Lane, thank you for joining the stream. Yeah, well, if the thing is, John, on the previous playback or some of the early ones, as soon as you start moving the camera, it all goes all pixelated, and I just don't find that very good, to be honest. And personally, and me watching it back, I don't really like it like that. So I'm going to try and move the camera as slowly as possible and not as often as possible to try and keep the picture quality up. So what have I been up to today? So I'm going to take you off the camera tripod, and then we're going to show you what I've been up to today. Oh, me leaning over. Right, so the first bit to talk about is my 47. That's what I want to talk to you about. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to switch the camera around. Forgive me, that's better. Hello Stuart Barnard, welcome to the stream. So the first thing I wanted to talk about today is my Class 47. Now the reason why I wanted to talk to you about my Class 47 is it's been a bit of a problem child for me today. Hello Richie from New Junction, welcome to the stream. Basically what happened was I was testing out, I managed to find my wagons for the nuclear flask train, so we'll get onto that shortly. And unfortunately, I was testing out my 47, and then I declared it a failure. It failed because it was stuttering and the sound kept cutting in and out and all the rest of it. And so that delayed me for a couple of hours whilst I was trying to figure out what it was. I've changed the track plan slightly, which we'll also get onto as the evening goes on. Hello Brian, welcome to the stream. And I took the body apart and it wasn't working at all at one point. and it turns out that when I put it together in my video and I put it in, it was all working fine. Unfortunately, my soldering woes came back to haunt me, and there was a disconnected wire between. Hello, Jamie at Penny Hill. Welcome to the stream. Between the decoder and the speaker, so this was causing a short and a problem within the loco. So basically, thanks to everybody who's commented over the last few weeks about my soldering woes and given me various tips and hints and all the rest of it. I'm glad to report that I resoldered the wires properly this time, and they were good solid connection. So between the flux, the tinner and the solder and the techniques that you guys have all suggested, my Class 47 is now back in service and A-OK. So at one point I thought I blew this decoder up as well. So luckily that's fine now. So my 47's now back in service and it's now happy as Larry. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is, yes, thank you, John. I was a bit miffed about it, but it was a good fault in many ways, because obviously everyone knows that I'm not very good at soldering, and obviously that reared its ugly head, and now because of you guys and giving me the various information, I've now managed to do it properly, and it's now sorted properly and should be working once and for all. Although I do need to clean the wheels on it. I do have a Woodland Scenics tidy track, but it's not really cutting the mustard, so I might go for one of those Gauge Master ones. So the second part of my layout update is to do with a brand new locomotive that's arrived here at Ringwood South. I nearly forgot my own layout name. And so we're going to go just over here to that, and we're going to have a look as to what it is. Here she is. This is a Class 56, also known as a grid, and it is 56084, as you guys can see within the screen. This is a Hornby super detailed locomotive. Yes, it is smashing. Yes, it's absolutely fantastic. It is awesome. I have another two. No, I know we don't see many of those these days. No, you're quite right. I do actually have another two of these in my fleet. I have a very sought after blue one, BR blue, and I also have a Ralph Freight grey. But this just has a chip in it. It has no sound or anything in it. And for those of you who are interested, the chip is just coming up here on your screen, 36566, and it is a Bachmann chip. And it runs lovely, actually. I was a bit dubious about taking the body off, I have to say, because I know 56s have had lighting issues with them in the past, and it tends to be the older ones that were a bit cranky. And I'm a bit dubious because I've still got to put a decoder on my other two, which are the older models. This is one of the newer ones, although this is about 3 years old. This was on my wish list for a very, very, very long time. It's been on my, and I got this at a fantastic price. It's just, yeah, it was a great deal, and to be honest with you, it had to be bought. I've always liked the 56s in this livery. So it's probably like the Class 50. It's probably the livery that suits it the best. So that's the first. Well, I don't actually have an older 56 with the Ringfield motor, Scott. I have the other two that I have are both Hornby Super Detail ones, but they were older chassis, I think. It's a bit like the Class 50s. The newer chassis are slightly different to the original earlier Hornby Super Detail 50s, and I think there's some difference in it. I haven't actually opened both of them up yet to find out, and to be honest with you, I'm a bit kind of worried. This one, if I compare it, I can compare it to the Class 67. Any of you who have a Hornby Class 67 will know that it's just basically 4 screws, and the body pops off, and this is exactly nice and easy. That's how this one works, and you just pop the decoder in. So for this one, it's absolutely nice and easy. But the other two, I'm not really overly sure of as such. The other thing to talk to you about as we move along is basically I'm going to show you my Evening Star, which is my 66779. That's not that one, it's Sunderland. It's parked just behind, and here she is, 66779. Now the reason why I wanted to talk... Hello Philip, welcome to the stream. Don't worry, I've only been going for about 10 minutes, so... hello Barnabas, welcome to the stream. So I just wanted to briefly touch upon... David Atkins, welcome, good evening. I just wanted to touch upon this particular locomotive. Yes, that's exactly why I wanted to touch on this locomotive. Kev, you got it in one. Yep, it's the nameplates. Thank you, Tim. Nice to meet you over at Basingstoke. Thanks for joining. And yes, it's because I've put the nameplates on. The fret comes, which is like the brass screw or whatever you want to call it, sprue or whatever. It's called a fret, for any of you who's not sure. Came with the Evening Star nameplate. Thank you, Richard, yeah. And it's also got, hello, Hendry Park, Model Railway. I hope I said it right. And it's also got this little nameplate below. And then there's another little, and within it there's another 2 discs. Now the 2 little discs I haven't actually put on because they are so tiny. It's like I was really paranoid about putting these ones on. So I'll show you in closer junction. Let's see, close inspection. So I got away with putting it on. Let's see, will it focus for me, please? No, it won't. Basically, there are no glue marks on it. Thankfully, I got away with that. It was very, very dicey. It was heart in your mouth stuff. So I was very, very worried about it. But what I'll do is I'll give a quick start up. And I wanted to talk, because I never really talked to you very much about the sound on it. So let's see if we can fire up loco 6679. Now let's see if that is... Do we have lights? Yes, we do. Right. Now this has got the speaker that came with the sound decoder, so it hasn't got one of those roads and rails ones. And I paid £93 all in for the sound on this particular GBR F66, and I've had a little chance to play with it now for a little while now, and I have to say it's very good. You don't get a huge amount of functions on this, but I think it's mainly because there's a number of functions built within the decoder that you don't have to deal with. So there's some automatic sounds that come up without you doing anything, some random sounds that come up and don't do anything, that just do it on its own without you having to do anything. And she runs really, really nicely. So, all in all, I'm pleased with her. The nameplates are on and she's looking smashing. So that's probably my favourite horn. My favourite horn, yeah. Yeah, it has got sprung buffers on it. The sound file, right. The sound file is by DCC Coastal. And it's a chap called Kev. And he's based in Ipswich. Yeah, to be honest with you, I Brian, you know, it's not everyone's cup of tea to have sound. It's just that sometimes I just think this particular locomotive, like my 68, required sound because it really, you know, shows it off. But unfortunately, I'm still having issues with my 66, as I am having issues with my Elites still. So I'm just going to shut it down. Hi Alan, and welcome to the stream. So yeah, so I'm really pleased that the 66 GBRF has come unscathed, and it is surviving without no glue marks anywhere on the body. Yeah, you're right, it is. It's all about personal choice. Railway modelling is all about personal choice, I think, in one. It's, for me, it's about, I just like the hobby, but people do it because based on their memories of the railway, and some people like locos with sound, some people don't, some people like steam, some people like diesel. So it is very much a personal choice. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about is, I briefly touched on it on my last visit. Any of you that saw my day trip out to Eastleigh, I got this, and this is a fuel tanker, or a fuel storage tank. Oops. And this is a Merco one, and I managed to get this from my local model shop in Basingstoke. I ended up paying £21 for it. And I know that they're selling on eBay anywhere between £35 and £50 for one of these. So I got a really great bargain. I'm wondering whether it's going to stay there or whether it's going to go over there. But where that Stobart lorry is currently, yeah, it is a bargain. I think it really is. And the thing is, that was with the 10% discount that I got because I went to the Basingstoke Model Railway exhibition. So it really was a bargain. Because I know that these storage tanks are about 3-4 years old now, so they're becoming discontinued. And like I said, I did see it on eBay anywhere between 35 and 50 quid, and that's without the postage. So yes. So let's talk about the layout slightly, because that's changed, and it's kind of changed. See, that was my 66 doing some random sound there. Hi, Susan. Hi, Don. Welcome to the stream. Like I said, yeah, that was my class 66, just making some random noise there. Oh dear. So there we go. Hang on a second. That was me just doing that, by the way. I'm going to change like 66 to 5. Sorry, I'm just trying to, hopefully it will shut up now for a minute. Right, so this is how it looks currently. Now the reason what I've done here is basically, yeah, what's happened is this freeway point has been moved towards me slightly, which has meant that it's given me a bit more of a head shunt, but because of that it has impacted the way that the rest of the track plan has gone. So if I just show you what I'm doing for a minute, I've now put in a double slip. So that's something I have to get used to now, because this is my first ever double slip. I've never used one of these before in any of my layouts. And basically, the problem that I have is I have this line here, which is where the track is joined, the two boards are joined. So when you fold this over, I mean, I haven't split the tracks yet, but that's something I have to do. It means that I can't have any points going over the joins. So that's why it's quite a bit of a logistical nightmare to try and fit everything in. But as you can see, across the line, there are no points across it, so I can then split it. So that's how I have to do it. I've also removed this line that was here. I'm not sure whether that's going to go back. It might go back, it might not, but I just thought I'd declutter it for now. But essentially it's still the same down that side, if you see it down that side. But from here I've changed it. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, the most dramatic thing that I've probably done to the layout, is I've taken a chunk out of it. And that is that chunk there. So this is going to be a fiddle yard where it is. And basically I'm going to cut this piece off, and then it's going to be a cassette fiddle yard where it's going to be a quick change. Yeah, there's a hole, yeah. Because the point of this is it's the track, I'm going to split it here, and then it's going to become like a cassette quick change fiddle yard. So you just lift up a strip of wood with the locos or carriages, you take it off, put the next strip on, and then you can either release it or bring the locos in. Many layouts do that, and this will be doing the same. So that's why it's going to be left like that. But there will be a wall that will run along the back, so that will come up to about here or something like that. So you won't actually see me taking it off. Like I said, there's many layouts do it at exhibitions, and that's what I plan to do. The length of that is going to be 4 cars, in case anyone's wondering, 4 cars. So that's pretty much what it's going to be. And like I said, you can just lift it off, and that's it. What I'll do is I'll use what I did at Behringer, which was the old phono plug-in thing. So you just unplug it, take it out, plug it, put the next one in, plug it back in, and then reconnect it and get it back on its merry way, and have pre-formed trains. That's kind of how that's going to work. So a lot of layouts do it, and I'm going to be employing the same idea. Yeah, Kev, yeah, the double slip is working lovely with the diesels currently, but I have not tested it with the steamers as yet, and that's really probably the proving point, is whether or not the steamers will be happy with it. So what I wanted to do is, whilst I've got you here, is we're going to do a little demonstration, if I can. So I managed to find my 2 nuclear flask wagons, and they're here at this crane here, and we're going to use that 20 over there just to show you what can be done with this particular track plan and what can be done with this particular track layout. Yes, we've got snow down this end as well, Dungewood. Yes, we do. So we're just going to show you how I'm going to do it. I don't know if I should do it with sound or not. Probably not. We're just going to... Let me just get the 20 going. Right, so I need to get to grips with this 20. Sorry, with this double slip. So let's go to... Actually, I'm going to put this here. Sound, yes please. Sound, right, okay. So looks like we're having sound then. Right, okay, we'll see what we can get. Come on, lovely. Right, we're going to do sound. We are going to do sound, yes. I'm just trying to get a good position for this sound. Sorry, my apologies, people. I'm not the best person at doing this. Right. Now, I'm just trying to get this all so this camera just doesn't fall flat on its face. Okie dokie. Right. Right, we're not moving, are we? Right, okay. I haven't got enough hands. Right, 2-0. Right. Now I'm still having issues with this Hornby Elite. Right. Do we want a cold start or a normal start? Because we can do a normal start actually. Right, am I planning for sound on my 56? I'd like to. Cold, cold, cold. Right, okay. So, let's see it. 1. Okay, right. Settle down for a minute. then we'll right, let's see if we can. Oh, right, we're going the wrong way, folks. That was me. Sorry, people. That's what happens when you don't do it the right way round. There's a 67 behind there, that's why. Right, let's go. Right, that's it. Right, we're going now. My apologies, that didn't go to plan. Right, let's see her come down this way. Just comes over the double slip. Right, so I now have to work out how this double slip works, which is not really, I think that's right. Forgive me everyone, I'm not. Right, let's go. Ah, yes, okay. Operator error once again. This is live stream for you. Right, let's go the other way. Right, as she's bobbing along there. So we make our way to the head shunt. Yeah, I don't drink. I do have another two, and funnily enough I was meant to get a chip for that, and when I got to the shop I couldn't remember whether it was an 8-pin or a 21-pin. So I didn't end up buying the chip. Yeah, sack the apprentice, yeah, that's right. Right. See. The thing is, it's so much easier when there's lights on it, because yeah. So here it comes into picture. We get there eventually. I'm driving one-handed and holding the phone with the other hand, so I'm sure you can appreciate the fact how difficult it must be. Right, so we now should be let's see, right, let's go. How easy is it to fit lights? I don't know. I have never done that. I'd like to fit lights into this 20 and also my other 20 that I bought, which I'll show you after this. Right. So let's press the coupling. So that's the sound for the coupling. So now let's press the other horn. I like to try and keep things simple when it comes to doing fitting and soldering and things like that. I know I'm not that good at it, so I like to try and keep it. So as you can see, my 20 is just pulling away with the two FNAs. Now if I just quickly show you, that's where we are away from the point, and that's how much we've got towards the end of the buffer. So you can easily fit another loco onto that. So let's see if we're facing. I can never remember if we are. Okay. I never remember. The other thing is I'm not actually looking at my Hornby Elite. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, put a barrier wagon. So as we move along the layout, sorry, my box is in the way. That's the box that kind of holds up my phone. Right, so we're now in the head shunt. So now we can take that into the goods line. Whoop. Sorry, which is what we'll do now. Now, it's not as easy running an end-to-end layout as it is a circuit layout. I'd like to be able to watch the trains go by. Right, so just about nearly cleared the point. Now if I want, actually I'll take it a bit further down because then it'll be easier. So when I run, so that's where we are with the 20 at the moment. Now, this is one of the advantages of having this passing loop, which was possibly mentioned to be sacrificed or removed. If I didn't have it, I wouldn't be able to run around the train. So now what I can do is run the 20 down to the head shunt down the end, run it around and back it onto the end of the FNAs, which is what we're going to do now. And then we can take it off the layout. So I'm just going to, hopefully, that's it. Right, she's off. Right, so we'll send her on her merry way. Now at this point, if I wanted to, I could just leave it here and bring in another train into the station, or I could run round it and then leave it on the end and then wait for the other train to come in. So I'll just flick this switch on, flick this point over, that one, and that will be done. Right. Alright, let's go. So I'll just go wandering off. Hello Tony. Thanks for joining. It's Tony Northeastern. So I've got to be a bit careful because that's the end of the line over there. Right. Hi Christian. Oh yeah, sorry, that's because that bit isn't wired. My fault. It's not actually completely wired yet. That side of it, because I've only just done it. Right, so let's see if I've got my double slip right. This has got a lock sound in it. So what I'll do here at this point is I'll shut it down, because essentially we're now facing the right way, and then we would take it off the layout through this end bit here onto a cassette, then lift the cassette off and then replace it with another cassette with another set of locos or wagons or whatever. So basically that's the kind of just one of the things that you can do just by having this sort of track plan. It gives you something to do. Also, I've got the TTAs just over here, but I'm going to be getting some more. So for this tanker here to be filled, so that will probably be a fueling point, and then the two sheds will hide and contain the locomotives. So that pretty much is what I've been up to. The only other thing I've been up to is, like I said, yeah, it is shunting heaven, but that's pretty much what I've got to work with. The other thing I have is I've lined up all of these so they all finish at the same point, and also before the board's joined, because otherwise I'll have to put some more feeder wires if I cross over. So that's where it's all going to end, and it seems like a sensible place because I can still put two locos and the two flask wagons. So that's just one of the things I can do. What I'm thinking of doing is ditching the idea of the coaches in terms of using them. I'm probably just going to get my 170, 159, basically use multiple units instead of the passenger stock for now, and then just use the locos by themselves to come into the TMD for servicing and that kind of thing. So that is pretty much it today. It's not really a huge amount today, but it's enough. I've done a fair bit. I mean, trying to get this corner taken out was a bit of a nightmare, but it's done. And like I said, then I can then start thinking about back scenes and things like that, and putting a backboard and how I'm going to marry that into everything. But it's like I said, I'm just tweaking the track plan ever so slightly. So now we're getting there. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, well, you made it. I don't know whether it's an evening session. Well, I was contemplating doing another afternoon session, but I just thought I'd ask. I thought I'd do an evening session just to see whether or not evenings are better than mornings, afternoons. Is that tend to be easier for everybody, evenings? Just yes, Richard, there is. If I just give you a quick sort of demo, if I can do it, yeah. So I'm just going to pull. Yes, Kev, any news on my 68? My 68 is still sitting here waiting to be sent. I haven't done it yet. Okay, evenings. Right, okay, so evenings tends to be... I'll try another... I'm just trying to trying to catch as many people as I can. That's just to hold up my phone. Right, basically that's... So that's now the end of it, Richard. So that's what I've got to play with between that point there and the end of that coach, which will probably fit now a 20. So that's about it. I don't think it will. Thank you, Richard. I don't think it will fit a 66, because looking at that 66, I don't think that's going to go. So yeah, it tends to be evenings. Well, we'll probably give a few more evenings a shout, and then we'll see how that works in general for everybody. So yeah, the class 20, the 33, 73s, the Bobo sort of locomotives will fit. You think the 56 will fit? I don't think so, looking at it from what I can see. If we just sort of do a kind of side view. Hello, Galgon Hall. Yeah, so it's... But at least now I've got a little bit more to play with. This is literally on the buffers now, at the other end. So that won't really... like I said, you might be able to... I've literally had to try and eke out these extra few inches, like say between here and here, just to try and get that few extra inches. But like I said, at least my 08 will fit, and we'll do it. But yeah, and the other thing is also, I don't know whether it's easy. I might still use the coaches, but at the moment I'm kind of thinking maybe I should stick with the multiple units. But at the end of the day, I'm just still tweaking it, and I think we're getting to a point now that I'm happy with the track plan, although I'm still undecided because I did take this one out that was here before, but then the problem is I had to feed a point here, and then there was another point just coming off here, and then it would cause all sorts of problems because there'd be all these little mishmash of little short track bits just to marry it all up, and also it would get in the way of the wash plant, because I did actually have the wash plant at the head shunt, but I don't think that's right, so I took it out again. So that's pretty much where we're at, and in fact I'll tell you what we'll do quickly before we go is my 47, we'll see whether that will fit. I'm still having problems with my Hornby Elite, unfortunately, and that is to do with it's to do with the controller playing up. I'm still having issues with locomotive shooting off, which is rather frustrating. I'm not sure quite why that's doing that. So we're going to see. We're going to leave the... let's see if we can get... There's the coach. So you can see the coach. So we'll do a little test live. Yes, exactly. So we'll move the Leyland out the way for now, and we're going to see whether or not we can use that 47. Mind your ears, everybody, because it might be a bit loud. We'll ease you in gently by starting her up from far. So loco 4711, enter function. Right. I do have a bit of a thing for 56s, if you can hear me. My 47 is a bit stuttery. Comes into shot. Right. Slightly over there. So. No problem, David. Right, so let's see how well we did then. Is Steve right? Let's see whether Steve's right. That's what we've got left. Yeah, I'm sure the whole neighbourhood can, yeah. Yeah, so can I flick the switch? Just about. So I could probably, yeah. Or as they say, but you can fit a bus in there. Boom. So our live test just about works. I mean, if I took the buffers off at the other end, I could probably do it. So yeah, so there we go, everybody. That's pretty much what we have and what I've done and all the rest of it. Bit of a live layout update. Oh, right, okay, apart from the wonky camera work. And can everyone still hear me? Because I think I might have pressed something, so I was just wondering if I could still be heard. So yes, so that's all well and good. Good. I'm glad you can all hear me. So I hope you like what I've done. So that's pretty much it, everyone. That's what we've been going for about 45 minutes or so. So just wanted to sort of say thanks for tuning in. And I am planning on fitting some more sound into locomotives, but at the moment it's going to be pretty expensive to try and get them all done. So I'm going to try and get some of these just chipped up normally. Like I said, my Class 56 over there. No, don't worry. I just wanted to have a quick chat with you actually before I go about these about the 56 because no problem, Jamie, because the 56 is and this is, I think this must be a new Hornby thing. They're using the same screws as they used to use on the 67. So just have a brief. Be careful if you do have one of these because you have to be careful not to over tighten the screw, because if you over tighten the screw you'll damage the thread and then the body won't sit properly, and that's particularly important for the lighting at both ends. So try not to over tighten and be careful when you're tightening the screws, because they're not the best, I have to say. To be honest with you, I think I would have preferred it if Hornby had left the clips, because at least the clips are easier to make to deal with than with the screws. But just a little bit of a word of warning with those, because there isn't much to play with. There's a very low tolerance between actually getting it to secure and actually cross-threading it. So just be really careful when you put the body on and tightening the screws that you don't over-tighten it, because otherwise you'll cross-thread the screw and then you won't be able to get the screw to tighten on it. Luckily I've avoided that so far, but I had noticed that it was a bit iffy. So I just wanted to sort of just let you know about that. Okay, so that really is it now, everybody. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm going to be off from the week after next. Yeah, I've tried, Jeff, to try and get you through your email, but I you know, for whatever reason, I can't tend to use it because I think you go through a website or something like that. If you've got a plain simple email like a Hotmail or a Yahoo or something that doesn't go via a website, because the ones that you sent go through a website and it says press here to contact you, and I try to contact you and it just doesn't seem to go. So at the moment it's not really too much of a problem because I have been using the insulating tape. Thank you. Yeah, well, I'm glad that this has worked out for everybody. I think the advanced warning has. Thank you. I think the actual warning has given people a chance to actually. Right. Okay. I will deal with that. Actually, could you just send me that in a private message, Jeff? That'd be great. Because I think when this video goes up, I don't think it. When you play it back, I don't think it comes up with the chat. So just in case it doesn't, then I'll miss the email. So yeah, so if you just do that for me, that'd be fantastic. But yes, you know, thank you for joining in, and I'm glad that the advanced warning seems to be working. And next time I'll do it, I'll probably do another evening session, and then hopefully catch as many of you as I can. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you were able to join this time as well, Scott. I might be going to Ali Pali, but I'm not sure now. I kind of got my wires crossed because I thought it was the weekend after it actually is, and I've got a late shift the night before, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be going to the Ali Pali now, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, take care, everyone, and ta-ta and bye for now, and until the next instalment. Thanks very much for joining me. Bye for now.